Sorry, I'm just whistling while I try to figure out how to change the privacy settings on Facebook yet again. Um, oh man, this is so frustrating. I mean, there I am. Does anybody know how to change this? I don't like having a minute where I'm one trying to find it on my page, and then trying to reset it. Um, Forget it. We're live. Hello, welcome to the Hypnotic Sunday service. Whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or X, um, I'm going to. I can't let this go. Here we go. Well, I'm definitely live in Life is Just Beginning group. So, all right. Well, that's fine. It's been 2 minutes. Let's go live on Instagram, and we'll get started. And I'm whistling because it's October 1st, and it is crazy to think that it's been almost a year. Started last December, where I really started focusing my self hypnosis practice on my synkinesis and Bell's palsy, and regained the ability in a week to whistle again. So this is my check in for that. So uh, unbelievable. I haven't done anything else. It's just been self hypnosis, and I continue to see improvements. And I'm really happy with it. Every day, I'm getting more and more symmetry back. Um, there are definitely things that will affect it, such as like how hungry am I, how tired am I, um, how much have I been using those facial muscles already from talking or whatever, and because I'm still using energy with it, and that's a finite resource, and that's one of the things that we're talking about today are the three resources, and these are the only resources I think that really exist, and energy is one of them. Whether that's physical energy, emotional energy, whatever energy, how much we have, that's a resource. The other two, time. Time is a huge resource. And the third is money. So those are the only three resources that exist: time, energy, and money. And we use one resource and we gain in another. So we'll expend energy and time and we'll gain money. Or we'll spend money to gain energy and time. Or maybe we use energy and money to gain time. So those are the three resources. And when I think back over the last 10 months, and what a wild ride it's been. Speaking at a couple of conferences, the Pacific Northwest Hypnosis Conference, HypnoThoughts Live in Las Vegas, the largest hypnosis convention in the world, talking about Bell's palsy there. Absolutely unbelievable. And, a lot of travel this year. My daughter graduated college, super proud of her, moved back home, got her own place, moved her in there. And so this year, I've spent a lot of time a lot of energy, and a lot of money traveling and on other things. So when I look at stuff, I will admit I let things slide that I shouldn't have, and that I probably normally wouldn't have. Um, Especially in the process of kind of getting her stuff together and moved out and rearranging my place and reclaiming the space that was hers to use for other things. Um, I let my place get incredibly chaotic and messy, which isn't good, overall for our mental state. But it was this project that was half in progress, and then I would stop because I was either short on time or I was short on energy, and I had to expend that in other areas, right? And I'm prioritizing what matters. What do I need to do right now? And kind of spreading myself too thin. And what I didn't realize was the kind of impact that can have on us, mentally and emotionally, and how that alone can drain our energy. Especially when we're trying to, have goals that we reach. Because if we're spreading ourselves too thin, we can't keep those three resources balanced. We always seem to be short in one or the other. Yeah, if it's not time and energy, then we're short on money. If we're not short on money, we're short on time and energy. That sort of thing. Um, so it was really tough for me because there's a lot of things I had to do. I wanted to accomplish, and like putting workshops together, uh, continuing my one-on-one work with clients, which is my absolute passion about this job and the thing I love the most. Um, and just kind of reorganizing my my life, my personal space, and kind of how I'm distributing my resources on a daily basis because a lot had changed. And in that, when I was moving oh, excuse me, loading boxes up with my daughter's stuff, getting things out, moving stuff around, piling things up in the middle of a room to wait until it was ready to go to the next thing. Oh, do you need this stuff for your place? Do you need that stuff? Or what am I gonna give to her to help her get set up? That sort of thing. My place became a disaster area. It was messy. It was hard to move around. It was embarrassing, frankly. And but more than that, it was chaotic, and that was a reflection of how I was feeling inside, of everything I had going on, and how I was spreading myself too thin for a long time. And the tough thing was it was a very difficult part to stop and spend the time and the energy on this other stuff that wasn't related to work, but that I needed to do so I could feel better, to reorganize and use resources to declutter what had become a very cluttered space for me. And I just couldn't help but think about how this could be such a reflection of, you know, what's going on inside, whether it's our internal state first creates the external state, or if the external state contributes to that internal feeling of chaos. And I think back because I had a desk, nice big desk, for a long time when I was doing writing before this. Now my daughter has it. So, but I spent so many hours basically chained to that thing, just cranking out word after word, stuff I didn't care about, but that's what pays the bills, or did, uh, before I found my true calling. And, the cool thing about it was like the thing I'd always wanted to do was be a writer. That was a goal, to get paid to just sit around and write stuff and be my own boss. And all of a sudden that happened, not in the way I expected it to. I wasn't doing creative writing. I wasn't doing stuff I was passionate about. I was doing just what would get me paid. But I was doing it. I was living the dream. I did that for a long time. And that was a goal I had that I didn't think would, but then it just showed up. I was open to the opportunity, and here it was. And then when it no longer served me, I was able to let it go and step into something that actually fulfills me. And that was doing this. But then when I would sit down to write something work related for hypnosis, I'd sit at that desk and my mental state would go back to that. and I didn't like it. I'm like, man, the last thing I want to do is sit here and write. I want to do anything but this. And then I started thinking, how do I change that? And I didn't want to get a new desk. And that was an option um, at the time. And, there was still a ways to go before the kiddo finished school and moved back. So I was just kind of in that limbo, hanging around. And what I ended up doing was I'm like, you know what? I can make this a new desk. I could take the island off. I don't need to use that. Use that as like a table against another wall, put some things on it, but then set up a different area with like the smaller desk. And it felt like new. And it didn't have that same emotional charge to it that was still there from previously. So just changing the environment a little bit can snap us out of a non-productive emotional state where we aren't, using our resources effectively, where they're draining us. And I felt a lot better about that. And then when she got home and she took the desk, I'm like, okay, well, I need a new desk. I got a new desk, and I absolutely love it. I don't think I would be doing these live streams on a regular basis if it wasn't for that desk and setting things up. But I had to expend resources to get there. I had to take the time to set it up. I had to spend the money on a new desk. I had to do these things that I didn't really want to do. If I, had any say in it, I'm cheap, sometimes. But why would I want to spend money on a desk? But then when I get it, I'm like, oh, okay, this really helps. And it is like having a brand new, fresh set of eyes on something, looking at it the first time. And all we have to do is take an action to change that. And it was difficult because I have so many things that I'm working on that I am passionate about and that I want to keep working on. But I knew that, with things in the state that they were, I wasn't really going to be able to focus on that. How could I focus on that when, there's this whole mess waiting for me to organize and clean up and all these other things I have to take care of? My energy for any given task was down because there were so many I wasn't in balance. So I had to get to that threshold. And this happens with anything where you say, all right, this, it doesn't serve me for things to remain in the status quo. I need to change. This situation has to change. It has to change now. And it has to be me that takes the action to do it. So that was what I did. I had to sit with it and release, and then go, you know what? In order for me to feel good about the things I'm doing to reach my goals, and again, that is the most important thing, is we have to feel good in our bodies about what we're doing. We can't feel like it's a chore or that it's something that we're forced to do. We have to choose it. We have to feel good about it. And in order for me to get back to that point where I was feeling good about the things I was working on, I had to stop and give myself permission not to spend the time on a million little things and focus on the one thing that was going to be the linchpin that would help everything else line up. So I could clearing the road. And we could think of it as dominoes. You know, we could set a bunch of dominoes up on the table and then go through and just knock them down one at a time. Or we can put them in a row and just hit that one on the end and let them all go down. And when that happens, we get into that flow. And, you know, that doesn't mean that everything is always going to be pleasant as we go on, that there aren't going to be challenges. I mean, we actually thrive on challenges. We thrive on the tension. That's where the growth happens, is when we face that tension and we embrace it. But once those dominoes go down and everything goes, then we start feeling good in our bodies again about what we're doing. And we start achieving. And even when it's like, okay, yeah, this is still a difficult thing. This is still a lot I have to do to get to where I want to go. But now I'm re-energized and I feel good, and the path is clear, and I don't have to run around and go this domino and then this domino and then this one again. I'm just hitting the one and then just going. And I'm just letting that momentum carry me. So I'm not spending as much energy. I had to spend time, energy, and money up front. But now I'm in a place where I'm not expending as many of those resources as I move closer and closer to my goal. And it's a great feeling to have, right? You know, when we're in that flow state, and just knowing like, oh yeah, I'm on top of this now. Because when we take the time to do that organization, to do the deep work, and whether that is just cleaning your house, whether that is sitting down, sitting with the uncomfortable feelings and the resistance that comes up around our goals, or the aversion that we see in it, you know, and working through that, doing the inner work and releasing on it, releasing the aversion and the resistance. And so we can start to feel good about things and start moving. Then we gain those resources back. So that's all. And I think for today, speaking of resources and staying on top of things, you know, it's I've got some housework to do today. So I am going to love you all and leave you with that. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I hope you achieve all your goals. Again, I still have the special going. If you sign up for the Resolute goal setting process, where I'm going to show you how to release on everything that comes up with your goals, how to write them, how to get an emotional alignment with them so you can reach them. You'll get a free one-on-one emotional detox session with me when you sign up. It's a limited offer. So go ahead and sign up for that. Use the coupon code JUMPSTART and get that session. So you can find that at resolute.ebhypno.com or just ebhypno.com. Same thing. If there's stuff that you want to work through, that's making you anxious, that's dealing with that, go to ebhypno.com, book a strategy call with me. Let's talk about it. Let's see where you're at and if I can help. And so I'll be back at this tomorrow for MK Monday, and then back here next week for the Sunday service. So until then, take care, and I'll be seeing you.